Hi, I'm Jeanne Fiorini. Thanks for joining the Tarot Tips series. Today we're going to talk about what you might call the white space in a reading. The cards that you don't get. Instead of paying attention to what's on the table, the images, the suits, the majors, the minors, the personality cards, we're going to talk just a little bit about what doesn't come up in a reading. If you were in art school and learning to draw or to paint or to do any sort of two-dimensional art, likely the instructor would encourage you to look at the blank space, the white space between the objects or the designs or the lines that are in your creation. So a similar thing happens with the tarot cards. Of course, we spend a lot of time naturally talking about what comes up, but we can get quite a lot of information from also paying attention to what doesn't appear in a tarot reading. I like to think of the prominent things that don't show up as being neither part of the problem or part of the solution. In other words, if they don't appear, they're not really something that we either can control or that we need to be concerned with in whatever the situation of the moment is. So an absence of an element or a piece of the tarot puzzle can sometimes tell us almost as much as about what might be going on as can what we might see visually on the table in front of us in terms of the cards that did appear. Let me just talk about a few examples. Let's say that you pulled 4 or 5 cards about a certain aspect of your life and you got no major arcana cards. Or if you threw a 10-card Celtic layout and you got no major arcana cards. This would indicate that whatever the situation is something that you can manage, something that is within your domain to work through. The absence of a major arcana, not just one card, but out of 10 cards, if you didn't get a 1 that was a major card, that might imply that you don't have those larger forces that either are available to you or might be stumbling blocks or something that you have to I like to think of salute honor and sort of let your personality take the back seat and let those larger forces drive the boat. So a lack of major arcana energy showing some competence or the ability of the personality to move through something. A real common situation is to ask a relationship question using whatever format you might be using to take a look at that part of your life with your tarot cards, and yet not seeing any cup cards. Cups are the relationship suit, the suit that we might expect to see if we were asking a question about that area. We might expect to see, what are the feelings, what is the compatibility, what's the emotional tone of the relationship. To see no cups implies that if there's an issue or a problem there, it's not, and it doesn't have an emotional component. Maybe it's how things work together just on a day-to-day basis. Maybe somebody's a night person and somebody's a morning person. That's more of a pentacle issue than a cup issue. Maybe there are different energy levels. Somebody really likes to relax on the weekend, but somebody likes to go hike a mountain. That would be a wand issue. So to not see cups in a relationship query is not uncommon. So to not be concerning ourselves with the cuppy aspect of the situation. Again, not something that doesn't show up is not part of the problem or part of the solution. The third example I'll talk about in our short tarot tip this time is the notion of asking a work-related or a money-related question and not getting a pentacle card. This happens all the time, and it's very frustrating because Pentacles is the suit of the tangible. It's you know, how much money we have in the bank and how secure we feel in our life and how grounded and stable we might feel. So this is like a show me kind of a element, and to not be able to work with that if pentacles don't come up in a certain query around a work issue, a financial issue, a career issue, or even a body issue, tells us that the place for us to be working is not in the tangible. It might be more in our feeling aspect. How do we love our job? Do we hate our job? Do we appreciate what our job brings to us? You know, it's often very much a sword issue. How are we thinking about it? How does it either work with our principles or doesn't work with our principles? Very many times, most times, money issues really aren't about money. They're about other things. What we think we deserve, what we think we can have, what we believe ourselves capable of accomplishing. It's not about having X amount of dollars or having, you know, a big enough 401k or whatever it is. So remember to, of course, look at what you see, to pay attention, to be intuitively reacting to the cards that come up in regards to any query that you might pose to your tarot deck. But also take a moment and reflect on the white space, on what didn't show up. What parts either are working very well and you don't need to deal with them, or which parts really cannot be altered or amended, and you're best to just sort of leave those things on the side and do what you can do something about. So think about the white space the next time you're doing a tarot reading. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your support and your visiting the Tarot Tips, and we will see you next time. Also, feel free to send me some suggestions about things you might like to see addressed in the Tarot Tips. I'm always happy to talk about something that I feel might be of use for people. So again, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.